Michigan football. Those two words alone conjure images of excellence and tradition. King. The big house. One student athlete remains the gold standard in Ann Arbor. Old 98, Tom Harmon. The legend of Tom Harmon began not in Michigan, but a few hundred miles to the south in Rensselaer, Indiana. As a senior in 1937, universities throughout the country courted Harmon, who would eventually narrow his suitors to Big Ten universities. Tom Harmon would become a Michigan man, and upon his arrival in Ann Arbor in the fall of 1937, was challenged to live up to his height.
Monday night we would scrimmage the varsity, and Fritz never liked the varsity to lose. He always wanted the varsity to win, even when we were going against the freshmen. And they never could beat us.
In his final game at Michigan, Tom achieved arguably the greatest gridiron feat ever, leading the Wolverines to a 40-0 victory over Ohio State in Columbus. Going out the way with 3 rushing touchdowns, threw 2 touchdown passes, kicked 4 extra points, intercepted 3 passes, and punted 3 times for a 50-yard average. At the end of the game, Tom received a standing ovation from the crowd in Columbus, something no Wolverine has received since. Tom had a senior season feud at a match. Winner of the Silver Football as the Big Ten's most valuable player. Winner of the Maxwell Award and Walter Camp Trophy, given to the nation's top player. And Tom received the ultimate college football honor as he became Michigan's first Heisman Trophy winner. It was one of 2 seasons where Harmon was a unanimous first-team All-American. Tom Harmon was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 1954. Tom was drafted by the Chicago Bears with the first selection of the NFL draft. Instead, he opted to sign with the New York Americans of the American Football League for 1 game. It was during this time that Tom enlisted as a fighter pilot with the Army Air Corps and was deployed in World War II. In 1943, he was the only survivor when his plane crashed into the South American jungle. For his actions with the 449th Fighter Squadron, Tom would later be awarded the Purple Heart and the Silver Star. After returning from the war, Tom briefly played with the Los Angeles Rams. However, his wartime injuries took away the speed and power that made him a collegiate icon. Tom decided to leave the game he loved and focused on a professional career as a sports broadcaster, becoming one of the first athletes to make the transition from player to on-camera champion. Eventually, Tom became one of the nation's top sports broadcasters and covered major events from the Rose Bowl to the Olympics.
Just a moment, we'll take you to Melbourne, Australia, the site of the 16th Olympiad.
Tom Harmon epitomized the All-American college football player. More than 7 decades since he last wore the maize and blue, Tom Harmon's impact still lingers in Ann Arbor. He was enshrined in the College Football Hall of Fame in 1954. After the conclusion of Tom's time in Ann Arbor, he continued his lifelong love for Michigan by displaying a 98 license plate on all of his vehicles, and he had a handle. Tom had several accomplishments throughout his career, but perhaps his greatest honor is that unofficial one, as many consider him to be the ultimate personification of a Michigan man.
And now, at midfield, please welcome Michigan Athletic Director David Brandon and the son of our Michigan football legend, Mark Harmon.
His whole life, everything came back to Michigan. behalf of our family, I'd love to thank Dave Brandon for putting this together and making all of this possible. My dad always talked about Michigan pride. I get that now better than ever.